Joining us now with more is conservative radio host Erick Erickson. He held a forum with many of the candidates just last week. Erick, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So did anything surprise you at last night's debate? Anything jump out at you?
Yeah, the attacks by and between Vivek and the other candidates and leaving DeSantis alone. I really did expect people to go after DeSantis more than Vivek, but clearly there's some deep-seated hostility on that stage. I will tell you, 5 of the candidates on that stage have been filling me up with opposition research on Vivek. I guess they sense his momentum and they're trying to take him out over DeSantis.
Well, I think that your views are widely shared. So to your point, a lot of reports citing a strong showing for Rama Swamis. In your opinion, Erick, who walked away a winner last night?
I think DeSantis did because no one took him out. He stayed above the fray. He answered the questions, kind of led the stage to a degree there from the center, refusing at that one point to raise his hand on climate change. And then Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley had a very strong, memorable performance. I also think Mike Pence helped himself by being very aggressive. He spoke more than anyone else on stage. I don't know that it helps him long term, but it certainly showed he has more fire than a lot of people, myself included, thought. He had a somewhat subdued performance with me last week and was getting in, trying to hold Vivek accountable and defend conservatism. And I think a lot of conservatives appreciated that.
All right. So without the former president there, let's focus now for a minute on Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. He is polling in second, but former President Trump has a commanding lead, as you know. Let's listen quickly to what some of the Florida governor had to say last night.
Is in decline. This decline is not inevitable. It's a choice. We need to send Joe Biden back to his basement and reverse American decline. And it starts with understanding we must reverse Bidenomics so that middle-class families have a chance to succeed again.
Now, DeSantis, Erick, has been banging this drum, but he's been criticized for not making a more personal connection with voters. So after his performance last night, do you see the needle moving in the polls for him at all?
I think he does get a second look, particularly because of the pylon in Vivek and his contradictions. A lot of what he said, like last night, Vivek saying climate change is a hoax. 5 months ago, he said he believed in man-made climate change. DeSantis can pivot off those things. The super PAC coming out attacking Vivek, it allows a second look at Ron DeSantis. He did have a good performance. And, you know, to your point about him humanizing and personalizing, several times last night, he talked about people he's met on the campaign trail and their stories as a way to connect with other people, which was a good tactic, I think, on his part.
So several of the candidates attacked Vivek Ramaswamy as an inexperienced political newcomer, including Christie. Let's listen to quickly what he had to say last night. This was on the Fox News channel.
I've had enough already tonight of a guy who sounds like ChatGPT standing up here. And the last person in one of these debates, Brett, who stood in the middle of the stage and said, "What's a skinny guy with an odd last name doing up here?" was Barack Obama, and I'm afraid we're dealing with the same type of amateur standing on stage tonight.
Come over and give me a hug. Give me a hug just like you did to Obama.
Okay, so Ramaswamy referring there to President Obama's visit to New Jersey in the aftermath of Superstorm Sandy in 2012. Ramaswamy has been moving up in the polls, as you know. Is this the type of boldness, Erick, that voters are right now thirsting for?
Look, I think the burn it all down, hate all the other guys on stage thing resonates with a core set of voters, but those people are already Donald Trump's voters. And Christie's right, by the way. Ramaswamy did take almost verbatim Barack Obama's line. The problem for Ramaswamy is last night he said he believes the greatest president in the 21st century is Donald Trump, which raises the question of, are you actually running for president or just to be Trump's proxy on stage? And he left the other candidates with the impression last night he just wants to be Trump's proxy, which is going to change how they attack him.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.